Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review, worth the buy or not, on a very new product on the market that's been catching everybody's eye, including myself. And I was like, I can't let this opportunity go. So this is the Cover FX Gripping Plus Firming Primer. I actually saw Tati do a review on this and I watched the whole review because the way that she talked about it, I was like, this is so intriguing. Like, it's like a glass like skin primer, and she loved it, and I love Tati. So whenever she really enjoys something, I'm like, I need to get that. Now this primer does retail for $38, so it's definitely a more luxurious primer. It's not like a $5 primer that you can easily get at the drugstore or something like that. But I do have to say CoverFlex does a really good job of having really clean products. So I wanted to just give this a shot and see how this goes. So you guys are gonna see me apply the primer on one side of my face, and on the other side we're not gonna go with primer, and we're gonna be using one of my favorite foundations currently, which is the Dior foundation. You guys will see that application as well. So let's just go ahead and get right into this review. Because right now it is 8:26 a.m., which is why I'm still kind of in my PJs, and I just woke up super early, excited to film this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and read a little bit about the product, and it's so good that it's been sold out on Sephora's app for like the past week. So I went ahead and just bought it in my local Sephora because there was no way I was going to get it online. So it's supposed to be a primer with a jelly texture that visibly firms the look of the skin, creates glass-like finish. It also contains less than 1% of synthetic fragrances, which is always really good for people who have really sensitive skin. It's supposed to prep makeup for optical all-day wear. It creates the instant skin tightening effect for a smoother looking complexion and improved makeup wear. This actually kind of reminds me, from what it's claiming, of the Sicily primer, because this is also long wearing, like skin tightening type of primer. Now I thought this was good, but I didn't think it was like something incredible worth $200. But it's good that there's alternatives. So let's see how this does. The main ingredient in here is water, and this is what it looks like. In here you have 1 full ounce of product. Now they also did come out with some other ones. I think there's one called the Water Cloud Primer, and it's supposed to be more hydrating. They also have a mattifying primer. But to be honest, I feel like this one really spoke to me as opposed to a mattifying primer because of how long it wears and how it gives you that glass-like effect. So I am so excited to get into this. Okay, so I think I'm gonna be doing primer on this side right here. Also, my rosacea is a little tiny bit flared up. Like, I have a lot of texture going on lately. I think it's just because the weather's been so weird. Like last week it was 5 degrees. This week it's gonna be 60 degrees. So it's insane how weird the weather's been. So when it comes to primers, I kind of like this type of packaging the best, as opposed to something like this. With primers, I like them to be very practical, especially when I'm traveling or if I'm taking them and I'm not going to be spending the night at my house, stuff like that. I just feel like they're so practical. I feel like whenever I was doing freelance makeup, these are my favorite types of primers to use with this type of packaging. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Ooh, do you guys see that? That is the product. Definitely looks really jelly-like. So I'm going to go ahead and take it. It feels kind of pasty, like slimy a little bit. So I'm going to take it and start putting it all over my skin, and we're only going to be doing one side. So I wasn't expecting this consistency to feel this way. It feels kind of like glue, like really tacky. It's very, very tacky. So I would say make sure that you go ahead and really prep your skin well, and do your routine, like your morning skincare routine, if you are applying your makeup in the morning, and moisturize really well, because it is a very tacky product. So you don't, the last thing you want is for it to like get tacky on your dryness. It's definitely giving me like a tightening effect right now. As I'm putting it on, it feels tight, and it also feels very sticky, which I like when my primers feel sticky because I feel like they do such a good job of latching onto the foundation and really making the foundation stick on top. So I do like when my primers do that. I don't like when my foundations do that, when they're sticky, because I'm like, okay, this is gonna transfer really fast. So I prefer for my primer to be the one that does that. So once that foundation's on, it just locks right in and stays all day long. And I have to say, I'm also excited because this is supposed to last all day long. So I kind of want to see how that's going to do, because lately I've been trying to find a primer for those days where I'm going to be on the go all day long, but I'm going to have a full beat face of makeup. And I kind of want to make sure that my makeup looks beautiful from like 9 a.m. all the way to 6 or 7 p.m. So I'm kind of hoping that this is something that will do that. Also, I have oily skin, so I kind of want to see how it's going to do keeping my skin intact and not, you know, look all sorts of crazy by the end of the day. So I will be testing it out and see if it kind of helps with your oils. This doesn't claim to be a mattifying primer whatsoever, so I'm not gonna like be extremely harsh on that, but I just kind of want to see how this product will do on an oily skin girl. Now, I'm telling you, this is very tight. I wasn't expecting this type of consistency, but at the same time I was, because the name's Gripping, but it definitely feels very sticky and very tacky as you're kind of putting it on your skin. So I would say the best way to apply it would be just pump a little bit of it out on the back of your hand, then kind of like spread it out and then start to apply it on your skin. Or what you can also do is take a little bit of the product and start to dot it all through your face and then start to kind of blend it out. And then at the end I like to pat it just to make sure that everything has really sunk into the skin and there's nothing laying on top, or there's like not little areas where you forgot to cover. So this side we're going to leave completely be, because I really want to see the difference that primer with no primer will look like. But I feel like I can kind of already tell the difference. I just feel like this looks a little bit more smoother and a little bit more tighter, like I just mentioned. And this kind of looks a little bit more texturized. Also, I feel like it kind of helped reduce a little bit of that radiance peeking through. So I can definitely see a little bit of a difference, but I feel like I'll be able to see the big difference once I put the foundation on and through the day. So I'm going to be using my Forever Dior foundation. Like I mentioned, this has been my obsession the past, I want to say since I did a review on it, so it's almost been a month, but I've been obsessed. This is in the color 3WO, and I love it. This is a matte foundation, and it's a very long wearing. It's a 24-hour wear foundation. So that also will help me. And for today, I'm just going to be using my brush to apply my foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dot this baby all throughout. I'm so excited about this primer. Come in a little bit closer. And I wanted to make sure that I used this primer with a foundation that I knew I loved. I'm ready for this gloss-like skin, Cover FX, give it to me. I'm gonna pump a little bit more out, just because I really want to be like a full coverage queen today. Some of the areas that I might have missed a little bit. Whenever I'm not wearing a primer, I just don't feel complete. I feel like I can tell the difference right away when my makeup has primer, when I don't have primer. I feel like when I don't have primer on, my makeup is just kind of like sliding because there's nothing to grip onto it. But this really gripped immediately onto the foundation and it doesn't feel sticky whatsoever. So like I mentioned, it's good when you have that primer that feels sticky because it allows the foundation to quickly like just connect with it and stay on. Especially I feel like for the summer, or if you have a job where you get like hot easily or sweat easily, it's good to have something that can kind of make that makeup lock into place so that you don't have to worry about, you know, your makeup just looking all sorts of crazy by the end of the day. So that's one of the main reasons why I like trying primers, is because I'm always looking for something that can really just make everything look beautiful for the entire day and really make the makeup stay on all day long. Because yes, foundations can offer that, but there's nothing like that starting base that can really just make it lock in and not budge. Okay, so this is what the skin looks like right now. This is our prime side, and I think it looks very, very nice, very perfected, and just super stunning. And now I'm gonna go ahead and do the side with no primer. I'm gonna be going with the brush today. Lately, I've been really into using brush instead of a sponge. I don't know what it is, but I've been just really into it. I feel like we all have like a little phase where, you know, we are really into sponge or like really into brush, vice versa. Okay, I feel like on this side, it looks a little bit more sheer. I feel like another thing primer can do is add a very like pigmented effect to a foundation. I know that the last primer that I felt did that for me was the Tatcha Silk Canvas. Whenever I applied my foundation, I feel like it really took it to the next level of pigmentation. And I feel like the primer, the gripping primer that we're using right now by Cover FX is doing that with this foundation, because I feel like right now this side looks a little bit more natural than the side where we went in with the primer. Okay, so this is the foundation on this side. Now, I do feel like I see a little bit of a difference. I feel like this side just kind of looks a little bit more perfected than the side where we don't have any type of primer. But I do have to say the foundation is so beautiful that it still makes the skin look pretty on this side. So that's how you know this foundation is one of my faves, because it still looks nice even though we don't have the primer on. But I definitely feel like this side right here is just looks better. Like it just looks much better. When it comes to like really looking at the skin, I just feel like it gives off a more perfected look than this side. This side also kind of looks a little tiny bit more radiant. I definitely saw that as soon as I had applied that primer, this kind of soaked up any of those like little bits and pieces of radiance that I may have on my skin, because I naturally produce oil like quickly, even after, like even in the morning when I first wake up and I wash my face and everything and do my morning skincare routine, I still have some oil peek through because it's just my natural oils. But I definitely feel like this kind of like absorbed any of it and give it a more perfected look. So I definitely am seeing differences. I'm excited to see about this primer because I definitely am curious to see if this is worth $38, I think it is. I think it's $38. I can't believe it's been out of stock on Sephora's website like for, I want to say a week or maybe even longer. But I've been trying to get it and it's been out of stock. People love it. It has almost 5 full stars. So yeah, it's $38. And it was so funny because I was like, because I'm just testing it out. Maybe I should get the travel size, because for the other ones they have travel size, which are a little bit smaller, but they do not have a travel size for this one. They're probably like, F that. We know this is a killer product, so we're only making it in full size. So yeah, that's another thing to note. A lot of brands usually do have travel sizes, like Becca Cosmetics, Makeup Forever, where you can get the smaller one for a cheaper alternative, especially for my people that are not big fans of spending this much money on a primer. I get it. I personally do, because I care a lot about skin complexion products. I feel like when it comes to like blushes or like bronzers, I would not spend $30+ on that. That's just not my journey. But with these, when it comes to like anything that will make my skin look amazing, I will definitely go and splurge. This is pretty much the same product as a foundation, so I'm expecting this to be like everything and more. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'm gonna finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys my very first impressions on how everything's looking, if anything's changed. All that stuff will be coming shortly, so stay tuned. Hey guys, so I am back. It is currently 9:26 a.m. I was listening to Sunflower by Post Malone and Sway Lee. Yeah, I think it's Sway Lee. Oh God, I'm obsessed with that song. I've been like listening to nonstop, I think since December, like on repeat. It's so good. Post Malone is like one of my faves. He's about to get so many Grammys, I can just feel it next weekend, but that's not what this video is about. I just went on a tangent. So I want to talk about the primer. So I actually went upstairs to change because I was wearing my PJs, and I have a lot of windows in my room, so I was looking at my skin and I was like, this side just looks so perfected. Like it looks so stunning. I feel like this side looks like I have makeup on my skin. Like the foundation looks good, but I just feel like you can see the difference between both sides, between what looks more refined and polished, and like you really took the time to prep your skin and give it the best like foundation piece for your foundation. And I think that's exactly what this primer did right here. I feel like now that it's all set, I feel like I can definitely see the difference. I feel like at first, when we first finished, I could see the differences, but I feel like once you give the makeup some time to really kind of settle into its place, that's where you really start to see it like come to life, or, you know, just disintegrate. So I'm gonna bring you guys in a little bit closer so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, but I feel like there is a difference in the products. Okay, so you can see this is the side that we have the primer on. Let me just move this hair. It looks so stunning. Do you see that? It works so well with my Dior foundation. I personally have never worn the Dior foundation by itself. All the times that I've been using it, I always wear it with my primer. I usually pair it with my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and then I go ahead and maybe use Milani Prime Shield if I need to, but mainly it's been just the e.l.f. primer. But I definitely feel like this primer is doing the job of making it look like to the next level perfect. This side right here looks nice, but I feel like I can definitely see my texture a little bit more enhanced on this side, and it looks a little bit like I just have the foundation on and nothing to really protect it, or nothing to really allow it to lay very, very nicely. I feel like because this gives me kind of like that firming effect, I feel like it kind of tightens my skin. So I feel like it smooths over any areas that may look overly texturized, and just makes it look really nice and just like a silky canvas. This side feels so soft and silky when I touch it. It does not feel sticky whatsoever like it did before we apply the foundation. It just feels good, and it's not transferring whatsoever. This side, I can definitely feel the foundation a little bit. It still feels nice because the consistency of the foundation is good, but do you see how it kind of like separated a little bit here? The only bad thing I'm noticing about the primer is that it doesn't really do anything for like pore minimizing. It doesn't claim to do anything for pore minimizing, but I just wanted to see if by any chance there was like, you know, my pores look a little bit more perfected. They still look like they're there. They don't look extremely enlarged, but you can definitely see them there. So what I would definitely do is I would want to pair my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer in the areas where I have enlarged pores, and then everywhere else I would apply the gripping primer so that the foundation just locks itself in. So that all being said, I think right now we're off to a good start. I'm not excited to see how this side is going to do through the day, because it's probably going to look like a hot mess by the end of the day. But that's why I do these reviews, so you guys can really see the differences, similarities, and see if it's something that's worth your money, because this is a higher end primer. It's $38, and of course there's primers that are like $50, $100, $200, but this is still a lot of money, and you could definitely get a foundation for the price of this. But I feel like we may be seeing good things out of it, so I will definitely keep you guys updated. I will also give you guys some check-ins in natural lighting so you can see how this does with just the natural sunlight. It's going to be really nice out today, so I'm really excited to get some of those close-up natural lighting shots. And I'm hoping we can go through maybe 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. We'll have to see, because I do also have to go to the gym. I don't want to go too late. I'm also getting my nails done. Thank goodness. Do you guys see this hot mess? I'm so excited to get them done. Okay, so enough of that. I'll be seeing you guys later, so stay tuned if you want to know my thoughts for the day, and then at the end of the day, my final thoughts, and let you guys know if this is worth the buy or not. Okay guys, so before I left for the day, I wanted to show you guys what the whole face looked like in natural lighting. It's still early in the morning. I actually just left my filming room, but I wanted to give you guys like a solid look at it before I changes, so you guys can see a little bit of it. You can see it looks so good. This is the side that we went ahead with our primer, and you can see it looks so nice and perfected, almost like we have a filter, and it's like keeping everything perfectly in place. And then this is the side that we went in with no primer whatsoever, just the foundation, and you can see how it looks right here. And yeah, so you guys got a quick peek at it. Natural lighting, I always like to include these because I feel like they really do make a difference and kind of help you guys see what the product really looks like in the daylight, because you're not going to be in like studio lights the whole day. A lot of you guys are just going to be in natural lighting, so you probably want to see how the skin looks like in natural lighting. But I'm a really big fan of this side. I keep looking at it because I'm like, this is amazing. My little puppy is excited to go outside, so I'm gonna go ahead and run and take him outside for a little bit, and I'll be seeing you guys a little bit later with some updates on this Cover FX gripping primer, so stay tuned. Okay guys, so I am back. It is now 7:15 p.m. and I think I have some well-developed thoughts on this primer. I am really excited to talk about it. It's been a really long day. Like, I've been wearing this all day long, and today it's been 66 degrees out, which is crazy because just last week it was, I think it was like 5 degrees. It was insane. So the fact that this week it was 66 degrees, global warming, people, like, let's be honest. But I was like, whoa. So I was getting kind of hot at sometimes because I was wearing the sweater and I was feeling it. I was feeling the heat. So I have to say that I'm really impressed with how this looks on my skin. I feel like it looks so beautiful and it definitely stayed in place. I feel like this side over here, like by the end of the day, just looks really cakey and texturized. I'm also kind of having a flare up, so maybe that could be a reason why. But this side just to me looks so much better. And it just, like the makeup looks, I feel like more pigmented, more vibrant, and just more youthful. I feel like this one has a little bit more oils peeking through, but that may just be me. I just feel like overall this just looks really good. Like I could go another 5 hours with my foundation on with no problem. And it's good to find products that really make that makeup stay all day long. It also does a really good job of not transferring as bad of other foundations. This side doesn't look too bad, but I definitely feel like I can see the differences. And I'm just like, this is a good thing for me. The only thing though I do have to say is this is a very tacky consistency, so I would really recommend you make sure that you really do all your steps of your skincare, just prepping your skin before you put this on, that it's hydrated and everything, because it really will make everything like lock into place. And the last thing you want is to start applying this and to start pulling on dry skin. I do think this primer is really geared towards people that want that more perfected look, but also kind of want that more firming, because I definitely feel like it gave me some good firming and it just made everything look 10 times better. Now you guys saw me use my Dior foundation and I love that foundation to death, but I feel like with a primer and without a primer, you can see the differences. So I'm glad that I checked this out and I'm glad that I have it. I will definitely be using this. This is also free of sulfates and talc. It just has really good ingredients. This is definitely worth the buy and definitely worth something checking out. If you don't know yet and you want to see for yourself, then you can definitely always get a sample at Sephora. They're always willing to give you a sample, and I'm sure you will be enjoying this. So those are my thoughts. I really hope that you guys did like watching this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you guys enjoyed watching my videos. And also, if you guys have any recommendations for future videos, please go ahead and leave them down below in the comment section. If you guys have any thoughts on this new gripping primer, in case you guys have tried it, also let me know your thoughts down below. I love to have conversations down there. I feel like we always just have the best chats. So please go ahead and share all your thoughts down below. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. I would love for you to become a member of family here on YouTube, because I wouldn't want you guys to miss my videos for the world. And also, please don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you're notified every single time I upload, because let's be real, I bring you guys some good stuff. So that being said, I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.